much deeper when you quit playing charades. You act so cool, but underneath you seem afraid. There's something sweet about your eyes when you feel safe.
What I see a lot of people doing is, Laurie, let's just take a step back. Let's start from somewhere here, actually. Is the moment you enter a studio space, you will be tempted to, of course, this is a backdrop, right? So you can take a picture. Let me just take my camera. Currently, my settings, I'm at 1/160 f2.8, ISO 320. So this is before me adding any lights. You'd see that the image is dark. So what I will want to do, obviously, is to get in like some amount of lights. So what I'll do is turn on the available lights that we have in the studio. Of course, this is a bright light, so you think that if I take a picture, it will look good. If I just increase my ISO a little bit, yeah, this is what we get. So this is a straight top-down light. You can see that there are some shadows falling under her nose, under her eyes. All the shadows is coming down because of this light, the one right there. And you'd also hear other people saying that depending on where your light is coming from, let your model look in that direction of the light. So over here, it means that she's going to have to raise her chin up. So just raise your chin up and then just try and make eye contact with the camera. I know that's going to be difficult. You know, let's just dramatize it. So maybe turn a little bit this way and then raise your head all the way up. Like all the way, yes. Just feel free and do anything that you want with this. Obviously, this now looks better, but if I'm supposed to be creating a portfolio with hair, I'm just restricted to this kind of shot because this is the only way we can get the light to look a little bit better. Now, you'd also think that because the light is coming from up, I can add a reflector, so please hold this with me, to bounce some of this light back into her face. You'd see that the moment I do this, we see a little bit of opening of the shadows in her face. Now that is still not flattering. And so that is where now having your own lights, you know, and modifiers and using that to shape the light the way you want is going to give you more control and then give you the kind of images that you're looking for. So far, we've also been shooting on a plain white backdrop. But if you also want to add some interest to your images, I would advise that you can play with paper backdrops. If you have canvas as well, you can invest into canvas. I'm just gonna bring this backdrop down and then we will see how drastic of a change this makes. Obviously, she's wearing something that is a little bit dark brown. We could have brought the brown backdrop down, but I'm choosing a color that is going to complement what she's wearing. So it means that the colors in your frame are also very, very important. Now, let's just move you a little bit this way. And now you'd see that if I take a shot, this is beginning to look a little bit more interesting because now we have character, obviously through our subject, but then we also have character in our backdrop. So now what we have to do is bring in our lights and then start building the shot gradually. So what I will want to do first of all is cut out this ambient lights because we don't need it. It's not helping us. And anything that is not helping us to create the images that we want, we have to get rid of it. If I take a picture right now, obviously what we are going to get is a very dark frame. Now, even though it is dark, now we don't have that very dramatic top-down light, you know, affecting our scene. So we can now introduce our light source. Also step away from the backdrop a little bit more. Yeah, somewhere like that. So increasing the distance between your model and the backdrop would allow you to blur a little bit of the imperfections or texture or character in the backdrop. Now that she is all the way forward, what I will want to do obviously is to make sure that my camera settings are also getting rid of any extra ambient lights in the space. Currently, we do have an LED bouncing off here just so you can see this video, and I don't want it to affect the shot that much. So currently, I'm at 1/160 on the shutter f2.8 because that's the maximum that this lens will go. And I'm currently at ISO 1250, but I want to start off a little bit lower. So maybe ISO 250. if I take a shot right now, you'd see that it's really, really dark. And this is a very good place to start if you're doing studio photography, because starting with this blank or dark frame means that you don't have any pollution of light coming in from anywhere. And so if you start adding lights and then you're seeing your subject, it means that the lights that you've added is what is actually illuminating the shots or your frame or your model. If you have more than one light, there is going to be a light that is more dominant in your frame. And then there's also going to be other ones which are just auxiliary or helpers. And those ones tend not to show up so much. So if you want to be like precise with where that light is, always start with the less strong light. So let's start off with our edge light. And I'm using the Nanlite Forza 60B. It's a bicolor light, so it means that I can make it warm or actually cold. So 6500 Kelvin is really cold, and I can go all the way to 2700, which is really, really warm. In this case, I can do like a 3/8, so it's almost like an in-between. I can now take another shot. I know this video is me doing a lot of test shots, but this is also because I want to really break down the process involved with taking pictures in the studio. You don't always just walk in there and automatically get a very beautiful shot. So you can see that before we had a completely dark frame, and now we're able to see our edge light. So in this case, if I don't like the position, if I don't like the power or the strength of the light, I can make all those adjustments. But maybe what I will do is make her turn her face away from the edge light so that it's not really hitting the side of her face as much as it is now. What I'm going to do now is introduce my main light, and I'm using the Nanlite FC500B for that. So I'm going to bring this really close. Now, even though this is also an LED, and the moment you turn it on, you can see how it's affecting your shot, you also want to be precise with the positioning. So imagine that, yes, this is a 500 watt light, it's very bright, it's very powerful and everything, but if I put the light here, and maybe just turn it like this, and take a shot, no one can argue with you and say that you don't have a main light in your frame. We actually do, but the position is not helping our subject at all. We can't see it, where it's coming from, it's not flattering. Even though it's a Nanlite 500B, it's still not doing its job. So you always have to still pay attention to where your light is coming from. I can put this light in the center, like almost in the center of where I will be shooting from. This is going to create like a beautiful light on my subject. I'm going to increase my ISO just a little bit to 400 now. As you can see, now that we have this light right in front of her, it's a little better. We can see her much better than before, but we also have this huge shadow falling onto the backdrop, and I don't often like my lighting to look like that. So what I will do is rather move my light to the side, somewhere like so, and then bring it as close as I can to her. If you are in a house, the lights are from the top. If you're walking outside, the sun is obviously again in the sky. And so naturally our eyes see lights coming from up down onto us. And so all these lights that were manufactured were supposed to, replicate what we see in our daily lives. So I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. And this also creates like a very beautiful and flattering shadow. Instead of it being like straight top down, you still have like an angle to it, and it's always very, very flattering. So, all right, I'm gonna take another test. I know I'm testing a lot. You can't wait for us to start shooting. All right, so moving on. Now that we've been able to establish all of these facts, what I want to do is now make her turn her body a little bit more towards where the light is. That's amazing. So similar to what we did when the light was coming from top, we made her look in the direction of the light. In the same way, if we just turn her face a little bit more towards where the light is coming from, we will suddenly begin to get very pleasing light on her face. That's amazing. So already this solves some of the problems that we were facing initially, where we had this strong edge light on her face. As soon as she turned, it's gone and it's looking a lot better. We still have that separation because of the edge light, and this is looking really good to me. If you want to make any more adjustments, this will be now you introducing a reflector or a bounce board, things of that nature to now adjust the intensity of the shadows that are being created in your frame. So if I actually want to darken the shadows even more, I can use a bounce card and use a black side. So in case you are shooting in a space where you have like white walls and then you have the lights bouncing around everywhere and you want to deepen your shadows or even create more contrast, you can easily do something like this. All right, perfect. Maybe put your hands together a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so now you see that we've intensified the shadows and it's looking really, really strong. So this obviously also means that if we just flip this around and use the white side, we should now reduce the shadows in the shot. I'm gonna keep it relatively in the same space, and then I also bring it really close so you guys will see the difference as well. All right. Yeah, that's beautiful. Amazing. I actually love this. The softer shadows is doing its thing. I really, really love the way it's looking. That's amazing. So for the last one, I'm just gonna move this really close, almost uncomfortably close. And then I will take another shot. Yeah, that's perfect. I can see a little bit of the bounce board in the frame, but we can easily remove that. So this just goes to show that your lighting direction, positioning, and all those little things play a crucial role. You can see that it's the same 500 watt light, same modifier that we used, but we got a horrible lighting in the beginning, and then it's the same light, same modifier that we've used to create this beautiful shot. And that is what I want you guys to take away from this video, that if you are lighting, maybe the fact that you've heard of 2-point lighting, 1 light, 3 lights, or whatever, it doesn't automatically guarantee that you're going to get amazing images. Do several tests, make sure that you are positioning the lights exactly where you want them, and then they're all doing their assigned jobs, playing their assigned roles, and that's the only way that you will be able to get fantastic images. So what I'm going to do now is just work again with Laurie to be able to get a few frames that we like, but I'm happy with the lighting. I'm just going to bring this back a little bit, and then now all we have to do is just create some images. If you're wondering, I'm also shooting this with the Canon R8 and the 24-70. I love this lens because of its versatility. I can shoot wide, I can shoot tight, and it's just amazing. So yeah, now all we have to do is just get some amazing shots.
Don't wanna take it slow. Just wanna let you know. Ready to spend some time. I wanna spend some time. Needed some time to grow. Just wanna let you know. Ready to spend some time. I wanna spend some time. Ready to talk, baby. Can be your rock, baby. Please come and sit with me or take a walk with me. I need to speak to you. Just wanna be with you. Just let me take you for a ride. Is there a chance that we could make another try? I think we're meant to be. Didn't wanna say goodbye. If there's a chance, just tell me how. Cause time is precious, time is now.
We just made a slight modification to the lighting. I just decided to add in a little bit of a reflector and also drop the height of this even more, because we just want to like open up the shadows in here, because we just want to be able to throw the light a little bit further down because of the kind of shot that we're trying to get. So yeah, that's it. That's beautiful.
I was too blind to see what you meant to me. The things you can't forgive, didn't know how to live, cause I didn't love myself. Wish I could turn back time, go back and do things right. Give you a wedding ring, give you my everything, and be there by your side. Share a life and